Good morning. Welcome to the Porch broadcast. Well, this morning it's kind of a little bit exciting. I want to talk about something that's probably a little bit new to our channel, but it goes along with the gun part of our channel. We're going to be talking about home defense. And this is something that I find very few people even think about. And it's very important in this day and time. Now, let me just kind of talk about some things that we're seeing on the rise. We're seeing home invasions, and these home invasions usually consist of anywhere from 2 to 3 or 4 or 5 people, and that's pretty hard to guard against if you don't have a pretty good plan. But let's just talk briefly about this. Now, we're going to get deeper into this. We're going to be talking about some things in the future. Now, not today. We're going to talk about how to set your home perimeter, your yard up for home defense, how to set your house up for home defense, meaning more than anything else, how do you do some security at your house that will keep people from being able to get in it without a lot of effort, and what kind of tools do you need inside your house to defend yourself once they do break in, if they can get in at all. The first two defenses are the best because there's a good chance you can keep them getting in the house at all. But if they do get in the house, you need to have a plan. Now, let me just kind of walk you through a little bit of what I got. I'm not going to get in a great deal of detail with my home defense thing, very simply because I don't want to tell people what I got. I have the element of surprise, but I'm going to give you enough information that you can develop your own defense in your own house. Let's talk about one of the tools that I have that I use for my internal or in-house defense. First of all, empty chamber, empty magazine. Gun has been safety checked. So this is a Glock 20. I'm going to let it just go ahead and dry fire it there. Glock 20, 10 millimeter. Now, I know the first thing that a lot of guys that know anything about guns are going to say is, why would you have a 10 millimeter inside your house as a defense tool? Well, my defense is based on 40 plus years of messing firearms. 10 millimeter is too much with just ammo that you buy in the store. That's true, or at least for the most part. But I have specially designed ammo for this gun, and what it does, it has low penetration, 10, 15-inch penetration, but it's releasing all of its energy at about 3 inches in the target. So it's really, with that ammunition, it's really a good gun or a good tool for home defense. Now, this is not all I have. This is just it's staged in a certain area of my home. But let me talk a little bit about staging weapons. And a lot of times people only have one weapon or one gun to stage. That's all right. Just get it staged in the right place and know how to use it. That's what's important. So here's some questions I would ask anybody. If somebody started kicking your door down, are you in a shape where you can defend against that? Because this is all going to happen really fast. And can you get to your gun and put it in use quickly? Now, my wife and I, we have a home defense plan. And I'll give you just a little bit of it. I'm not going to give you much of it. If somebody knocks on our door, depending on what door they knock on, we have a front and a back door. She'll get up if they knock on the front door, and she walks to a certain place in the house. Very generic action, not something that would catch anybody's attention. I get up and answer the door. Well, she's in a place to where there is a gun close. She can get it. She's trained with it. She knows how to use it. So if I open the door and they need to go ahead and force their way in, they're in trouble. That's a part of the strategy. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to do strategy in your house, because every house, every neighborhood, and every person is different. But if you don't have one and something happens, it's too late then to try to plan one. You're in reactive mode instead of proactive. We're proactive. And we had a situation. It wasn't quite a home invasion, but it was pretty close. And we had that year, and it's been years ago. But I was able to subdue the perpetrator within just a few minutes. And nobody got hurt. The perpetrator didn't get hurt, and none of my family got hurt. So this is why it's important to have a plan. So this is just one tool that I have in that plan, that strategy. I was talking to a young fellow the other day. He laid out a plan and strategy for his family, that if something went wrong, they got into a safe area of the house, and he got to his weapon, and he understood the thing about getting a safe room. Now, that's not always something you can do, but in his case, he did. He talked about being able to defend a hallway, had it a certain way, and that's a very good strategy. This young man he's ex-military, and so he laid out a good strategy for his home defense. Now, having said all that, I'm not going to get into a whole lot of this today. I want to keep this video fairly short, but here's what I do want to tell you. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Somebody kicks your door in, they're going to do whatever they want to because you didn't have a plan to defend your family. And let me say this to you men out there. Don't be that kind of a man. Figure out how to defend your family. You may say, well, Paul, I don't have a gun. I don't want a gun in my house. Well, you better figure out something. I'm not telling you got to do it with a gun. There's people that keep baseball bats by their bed, and people keep guns by their bed. People that keep guns in various places. And I'll tell you, because this is not a strategy that I'm carrying right now, but I'm going to tell you one that I did have when I lived out on the West Coast. This particular gun right here, we had a coat rack next to the door, and I had a holster mounted on the wall and had this gun in that coat rack. What does that mean? Well, that means when I went to answer the door, I'm standing there. The way the door opened, I'm standing there. All I have to do is reach like that right there, and I've got my hands on a Glock 20, 10 millimeter, able to defend my home, my family. And that was part of the strategy I had for that particular home. But the home I live in now, my strategies are a little bit different because the home's built a little bit different and the neighborhood's different. So anyway, I guess if I had to put this in a nutshell and kind of put it to bed, is this. Come up with a plan. Be able to defend your family. Think about what would happen if somebody started kicking my door in. What would happen if somebody came in my yard and pulled up and 2 or 3 guys got out with pistols in their hand? What would I do? I'll tell you what, you better have a plan. You may say, well, I just run my family out the back door and run. That's a plan, guys. It's a good plan. In some cases, it's a really good plan. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. This was a short video on home defense. We're going to get in far more detail in the future on some of these things. But we here at Porch love you. We want you to be safe. We want you to have a plan. We want you to be successful in life. We'd like to see everything in your life going good. It just doesn't always work that way. Well, with that said, guys, let's wrap her up. May God bless. You guys have a good day.